Hello dear learners, a very warm welcome to all of you. Today we are going to explore a concept that may not always be visible, yet it silently guides every aspect of our lives. That's ethics. Ethics is not something that appears suddenly in moments of crisis. Rather, it is continuously at work in our everyday decisions. From the way we speak to others, the choices we make under pressure, the responsibilities we accept, to the values we uphold even when no one is watching. Ethics shapes it all. Whether we are students, teachers, professionals, parents or citizens, ethical considerations influence how we behave and how we relate to the world around us. Every society, regardless of time and place, has survived and progressed because of shared ethical values such as honesty, justice, compassion, and responsibility. This module aims not only to inform you about ethics as an academic concept, but also to help you internalize ethical values and apply them meaningfully in your personal, social, and professional life. Ethics is not merely a philosophical idea discussed in classrooms or books. It is a living practice, something we perform every single day, often unconsciously. The purpose of this session is to bring that unconscious practice into conscious understanding. So let us begin this journey of reflection, reasoning, and moral awareness with an open mind and a reflective attitude. Now, coming to the objectives of the module. Before we proceed further, it is essential to understand the objectives of this module. These objectives will help you stay focused and gain maximum benefit from the discussion. The first objective of this module is to provide learners with a clear and comprehensive understanding of the concept of ethics. We aim to explore what ethics truly means, how it originated, and how it guides human behavior across different contexts. The second objective is to familiarize learners with the key features and principles of ethics. Understanding these features will help you develop structured ethical reasoning rather than relying on impulse or emotion alone. The third objective is to highlight the importance and relevance of ethics in personal life, social interactions, professional conduct, and education. Ethics is not abstract or distant. It directly influences how societies function and how individuals lead meaningful lives. The final objective is to encourage learners to apply ethical principles in studies and everyday life, thereby transforming ethical knowledge into ethical action. True ethical education is reflected not in words but in behavior. Let us now move towards understanding the concept of ethics. Ethics is a branch of philosophy that deals with moral principles governing human behavior. It helps us differentiate between right and wrong, good and bad, fair and unfair, just and unjust. While knowledge sharpens the intellect, ethics shapes the conscience. Knowledge informs us about what we can do, but ethics guides us about what we should do. This distinction is crucial, especially in a world where scientific and technological advancements have given humans immense power. At its core, ethics refers to the moral attitude and value system that guides human actions. It helps individuals make responsible decisions, respect others' rights, and act with honesty, integrity, and empathy. Ethics plays a vital role in maintaining social cohesion and trust. Without ethical principles, societies descend into chaos, injustice, and conflict. Laws alone cannot sustain a society unless they are supported by ethical values. Ethical ideas emerge from multiple sources, including cultural traditions, philosophical reflections, religious teachings, and social practices. Although these sources may differ across societies, the purpose of ethics remains universal to encourage thoughtful decision making rooted in moral values. In personal life, ethics encourages self-discipline, empathy, sincerity, and self-control. In social life, it promotes cooperation, justice, and mutual respect. In professional life, it ensures accountability, transparency, and professionalism. In simple terms, ethics is not merely a list of rules imposed from outside. It is a way of thinking about how our actions affect ourselves and others. Ethics includes values such as honesty, fairness, respect, and compassion, norms that guide acceptable behavior in society, moral reasoning where individuals weigh duties, consequences, and responsibilities. Everyday ethical choices, whether to speak the truth, respect diversity, or use resources responsibly, gradually shape our moral character. Ethics thus becomes an inner compass guiding individuals towards integrity, dignity, and social well-being. Now let us examine the key features of ethics which gives it the structure, clarity, and direction. Number 1. Ethics is normative in nature. Ethics is normative because it lays down standards and norms that guide human conduct. It tells us what ought to be done, not merely what is done. For example, honesty is considered ethical not because everyone follows it, but because it is morally right. Number 2, ethics is based on universal values. Ethics are universal in nature. Values such as respect, justice, and compassion are recognized across cultures and societies. While customs may differ, the fundamental moral values remain constant. Number 3, ethics is concerned with human conduct. Ethics focuses on human intentions, actions, and behavior. It evaluates not only what we do, but also why we do it. For instance, refusing to cheat in an examination reflects ethical conduct grounded in honesty and self-respect. Number 4, ethics is rational and logical. Ethical decision-making involves reasoning and reflection. Ethics does not rely solely on emotions or impulses, but encourages thoughtful judgment. Helping someone in distress is ethical because it promotes human welfare and social harmony. Number 5, ethics is prescriptive, not descriptive. Ethics prescribes ideals and standards. It tells us what should be done, even if people fail to follow those standards. Even if dishonesty exists, ethics continues to uphold honesty as a moral value. Number 6, ethics promotes social harmony. Ethical behavior strengthens trust, cooperation, and peace in society. When individuals act ethically, social relationships become stable and meaningful. Number 7, ethics is dynamic and evolutionary. Ethical standards evolve with changing social conditions. Practices once considered acceptable, such as child labor or discrimination, are now viewed as unethical due to moral progress. In addition, ethics is context-sensitive, adapting principles to real-life situations. Action-oriented, focusing on decision-making. Reflective, requiring self-examination. Together, these features enable individuals to navigate moral dilemmas with clarity, consistency, and compassion. Now let us understand what ethical principles are. Dear students, ethical principles act as the moral foundations of ethical reasoning, guiding individuals and institutions in deciding what is right or wrong. They provide a framework for evaluating actions, intentions, and consequences in various situations. One of the most important ethical principles is respect for persons. This principle highlights the inherent dignity and worth of every individual. It emphasizes respect for personal autonomy, freedom of choice, and individuals' rights. People should be treated as capable of making their own decisions, and their beliefs, values, and privacy must be respected. Another key principle is beneficence, which encourages actions that promote the well-being of others. It focuses on doing good, helping others, and contributing positively to their physical, emotional, and social welfare. In professional and personal contexts, beneficence motivates individuals to act in ways that maximize benefits and minimize risks. Closely related to beneficence is non-maleficence, which stresses the obligation to avoid causing harm. This principle reminds us that actions leading to physical injury, emotional distress, or social damage are ethically unacceptable. Any decision that has the potential to harm others must be carefully reconsidered to prevent negative consequences. The principle of justice demands fairness, equality, and impartiality in decision-making. It ensures that benefits, burdens, resources, and responsibilities are distributed equitably. Justice requires that no individual or group is unfairly advantaged or disadvantaged, and that everyone is treated with fairness and respect. Finally, integrity emphasizes honesty, consistency, and moral accountability. It requires individuals to align their actions with their values and ethical standards. Integrity builds trust and credibility, especially in professional and public life, by ensuring transparency and ethical consistency. Together, these ethical principles guide ethical behavior in personal decisions, professional practices, and public policies, helping individuals and institutions act responsibly, fairly, and humanly in society. Now let us see the relevance of ethics in life. Ethics is deeply relevant to every dimension of human life. Some of the important dimensions are ethics in personal life. Personal ethics shapes character and inner strength. It promotes self-respect, peace of mind, and emotional balance. Ethical individuals act responsibly even in private situations, such as returning lost property or admitting mistakes. Ethics in social life. Social ethics ensures justice, harmony, and cooperation. It protects vulnerable groups, encourages equality, and strengthens social bonds. Ethical societies thrive on trust and mutual responsibility. Ethics in professional life. Professional ethics builds credibility and trust. Ethical professionals maintain integrity, confidentiality, and accountability. Ethical leadership prevents exploitation and promotes healthy workplaces. Ethics thus acts as a moral compass, guiding individuals and institutions towards sustainable development and social welfare. After a clear understanding of ethics and its principles, let us talk about integrating ethics in education. Education plays a crucial role in inculcating ethical values. Ethics can be integrated into education through: number one, curriculum integration using stories and case studies. One of the most effective ways to integrate ethics into education is through the use of stories, biographies, and real-life case studies within the curriculum. Moral stories and historical narratives have been used since ancient times to transmit ethical values as they engage learners emotionally and intellectually. When students read or listen to stories involving moral dilemmas, they are encouraged to reflect on right and wrong, justice and injustice, and responsibility and consequences. Biographies of great leaders, reformers, scientists, and social activists provide powerful examples of ethical courage, integrity, sacrifice, and commitment to truth. Real-life case studies, especially those drawn from contemporary social, professional, or educational contexts, help learners analyze complex situations where ethical decisions are not always simple or clear-cut. Through discussion and reflection, students develop moral reasoning skills, learning to evaluate actions, consider consequences, and respect multiple perspectives. Thus, curriculum integration moves ethics beyond rote learning and transforms it into a living and practical subject that students can relate to their own lives. Number 2, teachers as role models, demonstrating fairness and empathy. Teachers play a pivotal role in shaping the moral and ethical outlook of learners. Students often learn ethical behavior not through formal instruction alone, but by observing the actions, attitudes, and conduct of their teachers. A teacher who demonstrates fairness, patience, honesty, and empathy becomes a powerful role model for students. Ethical teaching is reflected in everyday classroom practices such as treating all students equally, listening respectfully to different opinions, encouraging cooperation instead of competition, and resolving conflicts peacefully. When teachers show empathy towards students' difficulties and respect individual differences, learners internalize these values naturally. In this way, teachers do not merely teach ethics, they embody ethics. This behavior sends a strong message that ethical values are not theoretical ideals, but practical principles that guide everyday interactions. Number 3, experiential learning through community services. Ethics is best learned through experience and action. Experiential learning opportunities such as community service, volunteering, social outreach programs, cleanliness drives, and environmental campaigns enable students to practice ethical values in real-life situations. Participation in such activities helps learners develop qualities like compassion, social responsibility, cooperation, and respect for diversity. For example, working with marginalized communities fosters empathy and sensitivity, while environmental activities promote responsibility towards nature and future generations. Through experiential learning, students understand that ethics is not limited to personal behavior, but extends to social commitment and civic responsibility. These experiences help bridge the gap between ethical knowledge and ethical action, making moral learning meaningful and lasting. Number 4, positive school environments based on values. A school or educational institution functions as a moral community where values are continuously learned and reinforced. A positive, value-based school environment plays a crucial role in nurturing ethical behavior among learners. When schools promote values such as honesty, respect, cooperation, inclusiveness, and responsibility through policies, rules, and daily practices, students naturally absorb these values. Mutual respect between teachers and students, transparent rules, encouragement of teamwork, and peaceful conflict resolutions create a climate of trust and moral discipline. Such an environment helps learners internalize ethical norms not through fear of punishment but through understanding and acceptance. A value-based institutional culture thus becomes a silent teacher of ethics. Number 5, daily ethical practices. Reflection and mindfulness. Ethical development requires continuous reflection and self-awareness. Daily ethical practices such as reflection sessions, moral discussions, group dialogues, and mindfulness activities help students examine their thoughts, emotions, and actions. Reflection encourages learners to think about the moral implications of their behavior, understand the impact of their actions on others, and develop emotional regulation. Mindfulness practices enhance empathy, patience, and inner discipline, enabling students to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. By incorporating regular reflection and ethical dialogue into the educational process, institutions help learners cultivate moral sensitivity and self-control, which are essential for ethical decision-making in real life. Number 6, assessment and feedback. That includes ethical growth. Ethical development should be given importance alongside academic achievement. Assessment systems that recognize qualities such as honesty, responsibility, cooperation, punctuality, and respect reinforce the idea that character development is an essential goal of education. Teachers can provide constructive feedback on students' ethical behavior, teamwork, leadership, and social conduct. This does not mean grading morality rigidly, but acknowledging positive ethical actions and guiding students toward improvement where needed. When ethical growth is valued and appreciated, learners understand that education is not only about acquiring knowledge and skills, but also about becoming responsible, ethical, and socially conscious individuals. Education without ethics is incomplete. Ethical education nurtures responsible, compassionate citizens. To conclude, ethics forms the very foundation of a meaningful human life and a just, harmonious society. It is through ethical values that individuals learn to distinguish right from wrong, justice from injustice, and responsibility from negligence. Ethics shapes not only our external behavior, but also our inner character, guiding our thoughts, intentions, and decisions in both personal and public life. Ethical principles influence how we interact with others, how we respond to challenges, and how we exercise power and freedom. They strengthen human relationships by promoting trust, respect, empathy, and cooperation. At the societal level, ethics sustains social order and harmony by encouraging fairness, accountability, and mutual responsibility. Without ethics, progress becomes hollow and development loses its human essence. In the contemporary world, characterized by rapid technological advancement, globalization, and changing social norms, individuals often face moral confusion and ethical dilemmas. In such an age of rapid change and moral uncertainty, ethical values act as anchors of stability and direction, helping individuals make thoughtful and responsible choices amidst competing interests and pressures. By consciously integrating ethics into education and everyday life, we nurture individuals who are not only intellectually competent, but also morally aware and socially responsible. Ethical education ensures holistic development by balancing knowledge with values, skills with sensitivity, and success with integrity. Therefore, ethics should not remain merely a theoretical subject confined to classrooms or textbooks. It must be internalized and practiced in daily life through honesty in actions, fairness in decisions, compassion in relationships, and responsibility towards society and the environment. Let ethics not remain something we only learn or discuss. Let it become a way of life we live and practice every day. Thank you for your attentive listening.